Saab 92 prototype, UrSaab, 1947. UrSaab, also known American Samoa 92001 and X9248, was the first of 4 prototype cars made by Saab, which at that time was solely an airplane manufacturer, leading to production of the first Saab car, the Saab 92 in 1949. The car is now in the Saab Car Museum in Trolton. The name UrSaab means original Saab. The model was developed by a 16-person team led by engineer Gunnar Ljungström and designer Sixtensen. An automobile design project was started in 1945 by Saab, a manufacturer of warplanes, with the internal name X9248. The design project became formally known as Project 92, the 92 being next in production sequence after the Saab 91, a single-engine trainer aircraft. The aim was to design a car that would compete with small German cars like Opel Kadett, VW Beetle, DKW and Adler. The target consumer price was 3,200 Swedish kronor. Bra Erbjerströmer, who was then head of the design department, developed a 1/25 scale sketch and the overall design specifications, which included the following: a wheelbase of 2.75 meters, 108.3 in, and total length of 4.5 meters, 177.2 in, employment of a monocoque design, 50% less drag than other cars, 800 kg maximum weight, power from a transverse-mounted 2-stroke engine, and front-wheel drive. The choice of rear hinge doors was made by Gunnar Ljungström, head of the development team, as he wanted to lessen the risk of damaging doors whilst driving out of the garage. The company made 4 prototypes, 92,001 through to 92,004, before designing the production model, the Saab 92, in 1949. Development was started in Linköping by a 16-person team led by engineer Gunnar Ljungström and designer Sixtensen. The immediately preceding Saab production code was for an airplane, the Saab 91 Sapphire. It was for this reason that the first car project was called the Saab 92. Normally the development would have been handled by the testing workshop, but it was busy with the Saab 91 Sapphire and the Saab 90 Scandia. Thus the tool workshop, which had a lighter workload at that juncture, was given the assignment. The engineers responsible for making the prototype had no prior experience in making cars, and out of the 16 engineers only 2 had a driving license. They needed information about the car manufacturing process, but had to simultaneously keep the project secret. A few visits were made to Nyköping's Automobile Fabrik, later Anna, but as the extent of their work involved the simple installation of bodies on imported ladder frame chassis, the engineers were not able to gather as much information as they had hoped. Also, since all available literature only described how cars were made before the war, they realized that much of the manufacturing process would have to be learned on their own. Close to Saab's factory, a junkyard provided the engineers with both parts and inspiration. They also purchased a number of cars to study, including a DKW, a Hanomag, an Opel Kadett and a Volkswagen. Structural integrity concerns led to other design decisions. The team tasked with that portion of the project was used to building aircraft where every opening was covered with a load-bearing hatch. Since this was not viable on an automobile, it was decided that the body structure should be strengthened through the use of a rear window that was as small as possible and which used a split window design, and omission of a rear bootlet. Because the car had to have a very low drag coefficient, 0.3, which even today is considered very impressive, aerodynamic tests were part of the early evaluations. Thus, the body was of novel design and, with safety in mind, it provided damage resistance in the event of an accident. Winter driving capability was enhanced via front-wheel drive and wide wheel arches, which allowed for snow accumulation without obstruction of the wheels.